name is Debra Loder. I'm the registered dietitian and dietary manager here at Wickenburg Community Hospital. Today I'm going to make breakfast. It can be made ahead of time and you can take it with you wherever you go, and it makes a great breakfast on the run, and as a matter of fact, that's what I call it, breakfast on the go, and you can eat it several ways. So I'm going to get started by putting together the ingredients for my breakfast to go. It's very much like making a quiche or a frittata with just a few minor variations, because we don't put a crust on it, and we cook it in the oven. Today I'm using little foil pans to bake it, but you could use also like little ramekins. You could also bake it in a square pan and cut it into pieces, and so we'll talk about that in just a little while. I'm going to take 12 eggs and break them into my mixing bowl. Eggs are a really good source of protein. We used to say that you shouldn't eat more than 3 eggs a week. Some people said 2 eggs a week, but eggs really are fine to eat. The white is pure protein, so a very good source of protein. The yolk does have some cholesterol in it, but unless you have a problem with cholesterol, it's fine. And there are some other really good benefits in the yolk of the egg. So I have 12 eggs. You know, the other concern about eggs is that they can cause salmonella and things like that. So you want to make sure that you have a good source of eggs. And in the olden days, people left eggs on their counter. We don't recommend that these days. We want them to be refrigerated and use them by the date that's on the carton. We just want to be safe, so make sure that you do that. You also want to cook them thoroughly. You know, a lot of restaurants now won't make poached eggs because they want to make sure that they get the eggs cooked thoroughly. Especially if somebody is sick in your house, you want to make sure that they don't have any chance of a foodborne illness, because when your immunity is low, then you tend to be more prone to those kinds of illnesses. So just make sure that you use good hand hygiene. Make sure that you clean your surfaces well after you use eggs, just like if they were meat, okay? So I'm going to whisk up my eggs. This is going to be kind of noisy for just a second. But you want to mix them until they're really well incorporated. You want them to be kind of a light lemon yellow color. And so if you are lucky enough to have homegrown eggs, this would be a darker yellow because those yolks tend to be darker in color. So I've whisked them up really well, and I am going to add some salt and pepper. I'm going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of each. And that isn't a lot of salt, but the reason that I'm not adding a lot of salt is because I'm going to add cheese and ham, and those two ingredients are salty, and so we don't want our eggs to be too salty. So just a little bit of salt to salt the eggs, and then just a dash of pepper for a little bit of heat. So I'm going to add in some half and half. You could use milk, you could use soy milk, you could use coconut milk, whatever you want to use, but I'm going to add in about 1/4 cup. There we go. And then some red onion that I diced up really finely, and so we'll add that in for a little bit of heat and a little bit of bite, lots of flavor. And then also some red bell pepper. You could use green bell pepper, you could use yellow or orange bell pepper, but the red one looked really pretty in the store yesterday, so that's what I got. So we'll mix that up really well. Now, the recipe calls for a 1/2 cup of shredded cheese, or and a 1/2 cup of ham or chopped bacon. You would cook your bacon first and then chop it up and add it to your eggs. What I'm going to do is a little bit different. I'm not adding the cheese and the ham directly to the eggs. because that makes it hard for me to make sure that everyone gets a little bit of both. So I'm going to add it to my little pans. Once again, you could use ramekins, you could use a square pan, you could use a pie plate, whatever suits you. So I'm going to spray my little pans with a little bit of nonstick spray. And I'm going to make 8 of these. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. I'm going to reach over here and turn on my oven to 350. Get it started heating. And then I'm going to add a little bit of cheddar cheese to each of my eggs, or to each of my bowls there. I'm going to use a little pair of tongs to help me with that. So just about 2 tablespoons in each one is about right. You could add more if you like it. That's great, but about 2 tablespoons is about right. Oh, you know what? God made pans first, didn't he? So there we go. Cheese in each one. If you wanted to use sausage, you could. You could use pre-cooked sausage, like links that you can get already pre-cooked, and just cut those up into pieces. You could use bulk sausage and just brown it in a skillet and crumble it up, and that would be really good. I chose to use this ham that comes already diced because, as you've probably heard me already say, I tend to be a little bit lazy, so I like to take shortcuts when I can. So here we go with a little bit of diced onion, or diced ham in each one, and we're good to go. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is add in my egg mixture after I wipe off my hands. So, to add the egg mixture and make sure that it's distributed evenly, I am going to use a little measuring cup. So I'll put a measuring cup full in each one, and then I'll go back and put a little bit more, and so on and so forth until I get every one equally full. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and just a little bit more you, and a little bit more here, and here. There we go, almost to the end. And now everybody gets pretty much the same amount. So set that aside, and we're going to put these in the oven. I've got this heated to 350 degrees. This is a convection oven, so in this little oven they will cook faster than in a normal oven. So you want to just keep an eye on them. I'm actually going to set just 4 of them in there at a time because it's a small oven and I want them to bake evenly. I'll set the others aside. Well, our eggs are cooked and they're out of the oven, and I'll show you how I know that they're done. When I feel like they're ready to come out, I take a knife, put it in the center, and if it comes out clean with nothing clinging to it, then they're done. So here we have the first 4 out of the oven. Now, if I want to eat right away, I will just pop this onto a toasted English muffin, and then I can pop that into my baggie and take it with me on the run. I'm a registered dietitian, and I always say it's best to eat sitting down and without being on the run, but I also am busy like you are, and we need things that we can take on the run that are healthy. So this is ready to go with me to work, and then I have 3 more here and 4 more in the oven. So I'm going to take them out of their little pans and put them into Ziploc bags. That one's sticking just a bit, but that's okay. So I'm going to pop these into Ziplocs and into the refrigerator they'll go, and I'll have breakfast the rest of the week. All I need to do is take one of the baggies out, and while my English muffin is toasting, I will heat it in the microwave for about a minute and then pop it into my English muffin and I'll be headed out. My son likes these on a hamburger bun. He's not too crazy about English muffins, so he likes to have them just on a hamburger bun. The other thing that I have done is bake it in a square pan. So you bake it in like an 8-inch square pan, and you can cut it into fingers and then roll those into a small flour or corn tortilla and make it a little burrito. And the other thing that you can do is cut them just in squares. You don't have to use the little round dishes. You can just cut it into squares, put it on toast or on your English muffin. So whatever is easiest for you. And remember that you can always substitute different flavors of cheese and different kinds of meat, or you can totally leave out the meat and just use cheese and maybe add in some other vegetables. Things that I've used in these are broccoli that you cut up, and I kind of like to steam it for just a bit before you add it in so that it gets done. And then I've also used mushrooms, which add that nice, rich, earthy flavor. So there are a lot of variations of this, but your basic ingredients are the eggs, the salt, the pepper, and the little bit of half and half or milk. And I always say that it has to have onion, but you suit your own self. Well, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll come back and see us again.